Hello and welcome to a special episode of Aussie Ciggie Review. Today I'm Callum.
James.
And in the back we've got our mate Zach. He's a really good bloke.
G'day, how are we?
Yeah, anyway, so today, as I said, we're going to do a Port Royal Roll Your Own cigarette review. Our mate Zachy is one of the best rollers we know. James and I are both bloody hopeless at it. So anyway, we'll hope he can give you a bit of insight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the camera back a bit so I can get a close-up of when he's rolling and all that kind of stuff. So let's start it off, mate.
Let's start it off.
What do you smoke?
So I smoke Port Royal Original Rum and Wine.
Yep.
It's in my opinion, it's one of the best rollies you can get.
Okay.
I've smoked quite a few rollies. I've gone from White Ox, JPS Blue, Winnie Gold.
Yep.
It's a few dollars more expensive than your JPS, but I think it's worth it just for it's just such a good smoke,
Yeah, and you buy 50 gram pouches?
I do indeed. It lasts me about 2 weeks. It's $74 for a 50 gram pouch.
Yeah,
so
beautiful.
it's
Is
a
that
little
the
bit.
servo or the tobacco?
That's the tobacconist, yeah.
Okay.
So you're paying upwards of 90 for a pouch. So
so it gets pretty good.
Yeah.
Now, what do you like about Port Royal in particular?
I find it's very smooth. The tailors in Australia, because they've got all the different chemicals and shit in them, they don't smell as nice.
No.
The tobacco isn't too good. So the Port Royal is just a very natural, quite a strong but quite smooth at the same time.
Yeah, fair, nice. Yeah, awesome. All right,
Can't go wrong with a Marlboro Red though.
No, you can't. He's done us well. He has gone and bought a brand new one.
Brand new
just
50
for
gram
this.
pouch.
So yeah, anyway, we're going to get into it. I'm just going to bring the camera up now. So let's get into it, mate. So what kind of filters do you use?
Because I'm broke all the time, because the joys of being a McSlave and everything.
He rolls greyhounds.
I use the Venti orange. The Reg orange filters, I should say.
So they're Super Slims, yeah?
They're Super Slims, yeah.
Beautiful.
Also, you just use your standard tally-ho rolling papers.
Awesome. Yep.
So when you want to roll a good ciggy, it's all about how much backy you can get into it. Everyone has a slightly different technique. So I'm just going to pop
My
this down
hand is
here.
shaking because it's bloody cold. But anyway, we're going to get
bloody cold, mate.
So it's going to open up a freshie
So the
down
fresh
here.
pouch, as you can see in here, it's nice and supple.
Yeah.
You can see in there, nice and supple.
Yeah,
very nice.
real compact. So there's a lot in there.
Yeah.
It almost looks like a brick. So yeah, it's going to have to loosen it up a bit before you actually roll it. I'm so sorry about my hand.
Use a
Yeah,
both
sorry
straight.
about my hand.
really
It's
cold.
so cold.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
where'd you put my ashtray?
I put it just down here so I can have a little roll.
Yeah, that's right. All right. So
So
how do you like to hold your paper, mate?
So I drop my filter in. Sorry, boys, it's really cold at the moment.
No, that's all right.
Fuck, it's cold. So I drop my filter in like so.
Yep.
If you want to put it down here. I hold it with me thumb and my middle finger like so, and then I use.
Your hands are shaking.
It's so cold.
Yeah.
So then, I've already torn my backy up a little bit. It's all about how much backy you get in your rollie, because that's important. Otherwise, it's not going to be the correct roll. So you just
Yeah. So you got it. Yeah, you got it nice and sort of
nice and so.
You have Parkinson's.
Oh Jesus, it's so cold. So the trick with when you're doing a rollie is that you don't want to roll the tobacco. You want to roll the paper above the tobacco. So if you roll the tobacco, it comes too tight. It won't burn properly.
And the paper also messes up as well. So
Absolutely.
it makes it really
so you don't want
hard
to put too much pressure on it. Everyone has a slightly different method.
Yeah, and I've noticed you've got a bit hanging out of the end there.
I
Is there
do.
anything-
I
is
always
there
like to have
anything
it
to do
hanging
with
out. Yep. So when you finish off, you pinch it off because it's too expensive to burn here.
Yeah.
74 bucks a
100%.
patch.
Yeah, you don't
it's too
want to be
expensive.
burning it.
So you see here, I've got it into a nice little cylinder now. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to roll it down like so. I'm going to roll it down. I'm just going to give it a little tuck like so. Tuck it over. See how that little tuck motion I do?
Yep. She's looking
Roll
nice
it
and
up.
tight. Beautiful.
And voila.
Voila. Look at
And then
this.
a few little tips for you guys. The filter, see how the filter is? Probably can't see it on the camera, but the filter isn't quite in properly. So what I like to do, just to make sure the filter's nice and tight, is just give it a little flick, like so.
So
give it a
just,
little
yeah, flick it in.
Nice and embedded. End of the backy.
You are
Pinch it
so
out.
cold, eh?
It's fucking freezing.
Yeah, awesome.
And
So
there we have a very
Yeah.
nice little rollie.
beautiful. He's a champion. This
Little
guy, like
champion.
he's so good. I wouldn't be able to do that for the
Champion.
life of me. All the ones that James and I try to
I end up just using two papers and rolling like a mini cigar.
and he doesn't even bother with a filter because his lungs are non-existent.
Non-existent.
Yeah. Anyway, so James, you're smoking a Marlboro Red.
Yeah.
You have a rollie?
Yeah, I'll
And
get
I'll
into
roll
one of
as
these.
well.
Yep, he'll roll another
You
one.
get into reviewing that while
Yeah.
Zach rolls too.
Excuse this here. Beautiful. How good. So yeah, that's a detailed rundown from our good mate Zach here on
Okay.
how to roll a good cigarette. It's all practice, I find.
Absolutely.
With rollies. Like even I've had one pouch before, and by the end of that, I didn't even get halfway through it. I got halfway through it, but I thought, I don't like to work for my smokes. I like to be able to pick a smoke out of my packet and just have one straight away. But yes, as he said with the rolling, they're in the long run they're cheaper depending
Much
how much
cheaper,
you
yeah.
put in it. And yeah, anyway, so
Well, how many smokes do you average per 50 gram?
Per 50 gram, it'll do me about 170 to 200 smokes, depending on
Holy moly,
how
yeah,
stingy
right.
I am.
Yeah,
on
because
the
he
drum
rolls
week.
greyhounds.
Yeah, I roll
Yeah.
thin.
Thin.
yeah, so I think I remember when I first tried rolling, I used regular size filters, so they were massive. And that's when James and I were up the coast on one of our road trips, and it took me a long time to get through, and it also used a lot of tobacco. So yeah, anyway, that's all right. I'm going to get into this, so I'm just going to give you a run over the construction that he's done for it. So it's pretty nice and tight. You can see a little bit of tobacco poking out the end there, but that's all right. So that's just going to help us light it. He's got his little greyhound filter there, so it's nice and tucked in, and you'll notice with that, there's no line, or there's no separation from the filter or the paper, and that's something that... Quit being a bitch. And that's something that I always have trouble doing. So, geez, you're a stingy bastard.
About time.
Yeah, anyway, so really nicely rolled cigarette. I wouldn't be able to do that for the life of me. So it's all in the fingers. He's got magic fingers.
I do, mate. The girls love it.
Yeah, mate, let's keep it
PC, sorry,
keep it PG, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to light this up, see how she goes. Yeah, so straight up, like, because they're rollies, real thin paper, you don't get too much of a paper hit unless you leave the tobacco further into the paper. But because he's got that tobacco there hanging out, you don't generally get that. So that's all right.
I just love the flavour of Port Royal.
It's beautiful. It's just sort of,
it's very aromatic.
Yeah, aromatic. It's almost like a pipe tobacco mixture.
Absolutely, because Port Royal is in fact a pipe tobacco. That's
and that's something that, like, I've recently really got into my pipe smoking. So that's something we want to do in the future. So how to pack a pipe, how to like air out your tobacco, all that kind of stuff. That's going to be something we're going to do in the future. But anyway, let's get into this. Hope it hasn't gone out.
It hasn't.
No, it hasn't. I'm going to do a body draw on this. I find with the rollies, they sort of numb your tongue a bit, especially with the greyhound filters.
Throat hit I find as well.
Yeah,
so throat hit.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to get into a body one of that, see how she goes.
Got out.
It's gone out, so I can't do it. I'm going to do another one.
That's the joys of rollies, unfortunately.
Yeah, and
they go out by themselves.
That's something that's a bit unfortunate for me because I do a lot of talking when I smoke. That's a bit annoying. But anyway,
whereas for me, I just smoke. I don't talk.
Because you're a lazy bastard. Right. I'm going to try and get into this. I'll try not to destroy my tongue while I'm doing it, but we'll go ahead.
Mate, you think you're going to destroy your tongue? Wait till I have to do the death drag.
Yeah, I can't feel my tongue, but as you can see from that, really nice body, and just even the smoke in here, in general, like ciggies that will smoke, it'd be a bit of a sour smell. That is beautiful, sweet, and aromatic, so that's really nice, and obviously I can see why you enjoy smoking it so much. But
like, Zach will rarely buy Taylors.
I only buy when I go out drinking because when it's 3 o'clock in the morning, I can't be fucked rolling, unfortunately.
Yeah, and you won't be able to coordinate yourself to roll them.
You just spill half your pouch on the ground.
Well, I'm kind of nearing the end of mine, so I might as well rip me death drag.
Yep, let's get the death drag going here. This is sort of a ritualistic thing, as we all know. Oh my god.
Oh, Jesus.
Look at that cherry. It's still going. Alright. I don't know how he does that.
Hold it.
It's so bad. Hold it. He's holding it. Hold it.
No smoke on the exhale. Oh,
Jesus Christ.
Jesus. Also, just for everyone out there who if they want to have a slightly cheaper option smoking rollies, if you're struggling to learn how to roll, if you go to the tobacconist or to any tobacconist, they sell these little rolling machines. They're about $10 a pop. Really good. You just drop your filter and drop your back in, and then you roll it up, pop your paper in, and it rolls a perfect dart every time for $8.
Really?
Absolutely.
So perfect. Is there anything that you'd fold about that rolling mechanism?
Oh, not at all. It got me by for 6 months while I was trying to learn how to roll, because it does take time. It's one of those things that, once you learn, you've got it down for life. It's like riding a bicycle. If you learn how to roll a dart, you're going to be able to roll a dart for your life.
Yeah, and I guess what you'd be able to get from that rolling thing, you'd be able to sort of see how you can sort of do it yourself.
Definitely.
So learn from that.
Absolutely.
Jeez, I'm out of breath from that death drag still.
I'm not surprised, mate. You're getting head spins and all. You're not looking choice. Yeah. Anyway, so now these, you do have to take regular drags for these, otherwise they are going to go out on you. But if you pack them well enough and tightly enough, as Zach does, you won't have as much of a problem. So
the cherry will stay in there.
Yeah, the cherry will stay in there. And I find when I've tried to roll, I always get too much saliva on the sticky bit, and it doesn't burn away on the paper. But obviously, there's just you got to get your bottom out.
Where do you roll your smoke? You have to wet the paper, but you don't want to saturate it for 2 reasons. One, because your paper will just tear it when you go to roll it up.
I'll leave those mad tar stains down one side.
And secondly, if you put on too much saliva, what happens is you actually lick off that little bit of stickiness. That goes sticky when you get it wet. So about halfway through your dart, it'll start to come apart.
Yeah, right.
So it's just making sure everything's good. You know, making sure it's all the correct ratios and
Yeah,
everything.
100%. Yeah, awesome. Now, when did you start smoking, mate?
Oh god. I had my first cigarette at TAFE, which for any American viewers is the equivalent of like community college.
Yep.
Had one at 15. You know what it's like. Everyone goes out for a smoke. Started scabbing smoke. Started off on the 20 pack of the JPS Super Kings.
Yeah. Okay.
Blues,
That's me done.
And
We
then
haven't done one of those
used
yet.
to buy 20 packs of those every second day. Then I went to the JPS Blue Rollies. Experimented with the rollies a bit. Smoked Fiddlerless White Ox. That shit is
That's
rancid.
pretty much prison tobacco.
It is the
For
prison
those of you
tobacco.
that
It's
aren't
rancid.
aware, yes.
And then I went on the Winfield Gold for a bit,
Yep.
about $71 a pouch. Bought my first Port Royal pouch on the recommendation of my step cousin, actually. So shout out to Jeremy there. Thank you very much.
Yep.
And since then, I've just been an avid Port Royal smoker. It's a good smoke. It's a little bit more pricey, as I said.
Yeah,
but, you know, I think it's worth it.
Now, are there any other brands you've tried other than JPS and your Winfield and your Port Royal?
I haven't.
You've tried Horizon.
I've tried.
That's disgusting.
I haven't so much bought other pouches. I've scabbed smokes off other people. I'm not a fan of Champion Ruby. I tend to find it's a very dry smoke.
Yep.
Oh shit! You bought a pack of Horizon
When
We're
was
talking
that?
about Champion Ruby.
when you
dickhead.
came around to my place
Did I?
at one time.
Was that Taylor's or the Rollies?
Rollies.
Oh, well, go figure. Probably too mashed to remember that.
Oh, I
That's
was probably
all right.
too much.
Yeah, anyway, continue.
Yeah, no, but really, it's just I think everyone has their smoke that they like. I know James likes his Winnie Reds.
Yep.
Me?
Without a doubt.
Oh,
Marlboro Reds.
Oh, Marlboro Reds.
Yeah.
Sorry. Everyone has their smoke. You know, if you're a smoker, you have your smoke. And
Dunhill.
yeah,
Reds.
because I'm a fancy faggot.
if I'm
As,
going out drinking, I'll normally just get a JPS Blue 40 deck, and that tends to do me for the night.
Yep. So yeah. And we're all pretty heavy smokers when we drink, aren't we? It's not particularly
Yeah,
that
no,
good.
it's
but
not ideal.
we've all been known to get through a pack
Absolutely,
when we
easy
drink,
go,
and it's
easy go.
terrible. And you wake up in the morning feeling like
shit,
arse.
yeah.
But yeah, anyway, that's one of the prices you pay for it.
Don't
Anyway,
even get us started on our little coastal escapade on
Oh, shit.
Australia Day.
Oh,
That
no.
was
That was
5 days of drinking and smoking. How much do you reckon we spent on darts together?
I reckon it was upwards of $300. I know that we went through 3 50-gram pouches between 4 people.
I went through about
you just went through lots of smokes, mate. That's
three
in general.
40 decks of... What was I smoking? I think I
You're
was...
smoking Rothmans then.
Yeah, I was on the Rothmans at the time. 3 40 decks of Rothmans, plus I was scabbing rollies off them when I
Yeah.
could.
And the day that I was down there, I got through in a pack of half of Dunhill Reds. So, well, the day and the night I was in, neither of us remember or want to remember certain things that happened on that night.
Oh
but,
no,
yeah,
God
let's-
no.
let's
Let's not go over
that's
that
going
one.
to stay there.
Whatever happens at the coast stays down the coast.
Yeah, anyway, with Port Royal, you'll notice when you smoke, it's nice, consistent flavour throughout. It is quite, as Zach said, a strong hit on the throat, as he said
But
right,
I like
right at
it.
the start. But yeah, some people crave that, and like we don't mind it. One thing I do notice with rollies with myself, after I've had maybe 3 or 4 or 5 of them, I notice that my throat gets a little bit irritated. That's probably just due to my bad rolling skills and the smoke escaping out of the gap from the paper and the filter, but that's just 'cause I'm a bad roller. I haven't had any issues with any of his that he's smoked. But Port Royal, you can't really go wrong, can you?
God no, not at all. It's the optimum rollie, I'd say. It's a rich man's rollie, which I'm not, unfortunately.
You gotta
Yeah,
make do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Anyway, guys, if you'd like to comment down below what kind of rolling tobacco you'd like, that'd be awesome. We all, you know, we go through your comments, and we like it. We enjoy reading them and everything.
And if you want to see future episodes of this fag,
Oh, yeah.
just let us know, and let us know, and he'll be there. Shout out to him because he's travelled 45 minutes from his place to be here. So we really appreciate the effort that he's gone to, and we
Not at
hope
all.
you guys do as well. And anyway, wherever you guys are
spark up
in the
for
world
us.
today, spark up for us. As again, shout out to Zach. Anyway, have a great day, guys, and we look forward to hearing from you
You
soon.
praying back there?
No, man, I'm just sitting.
Anything else you want to say?
Thanks for having me on the channel, boys.
No, mate. It's a pleasure as always.
More than happy to come back and do some more videos if everyone likes it. Hope
Well, we can't roll, so we might.
yeah,
need you back.
absolutely.
Yeah. So we might try some new rolly
Absolutely.
tobaccos soon.
We'll try
Cause
the White Ox soon if you want.
It's not high on my agenda.
Yeah, because we've pretty much gone through a lot of Taylors now, and we like reviewing the red strength Taylors just because we don't like buying anything.
We
weaker than
typically
that.
smoke reds.
Yeah, so we're not going to buy blues unless they're Kents because they're really good. Anyway, so we'll get on to that. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll catch you later, guys.
Cheers.
See ya.
See ya.